G'day, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Welcome along to the Success Simplified event that we've been planning for a few weeks now. If I haven't had the chance to meet you yet, my name's Michael Simon. I'm co-founder of the Lifestyle Co with my beautiful wife, Rebecca, and I'm coming to you live from Fiji right now. It's Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day here. It just happens to be my birthday today, which is, always a good day. But I was just looking at that video that I shared there, and there's a picture in there, and I deliberately put it in there. It was 8 years ago, and it was me on my birthday, and it was on a building site, and it was about 7 o'clock at night, and I was not going to be able to get home for my birthday. My youngest daughter was, a newborn, like a few months old. Well, I guess probably 6 months old. My eldest daughter was devastated that I wasn't going to be home, and so my wife got a cake, got the kids together, and had to come on the building site to bring the cake and do the birthday thing. And that's what life was like. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I was working mega hours. I was never getting to be home with my wife and kids, and missing out on all those things that only happen once, and not even moving towards where I wanted to get to in life. And that's what I've been excited about this weekend. And as I said, I'm now living each day by design. And living what I only thought was possible in my dreams, fair to say. So I'd love to know where you're coming in from. Jump into the chat. I've got two computers going in here, so I can zoom here and share a slideshow, which I'm going to do in a tick. And I'm looking at myself in delay down the bottom here, but I've got the chat feed going here, so you can jump in there. Let us know exactly where you're coming from. I'd love to see the reach that we're having all around the world. If you're getting the replay, just chuck replay in there. We're going to keep this up probably for forever, really, if it's a resource that you guys want to use. I'm going to share with you everything. There is nothing. This isn't one of those events where people give you a couple of little licks of the lollipop and then sell you a big course or something at the end. I'm going to give you absolutely everything that I believe you need to be able to create that dream life, to be able to live your best life and live life by design. So let me just start sharing my screen straight up, and I will go to, actually I probably should just check, just jump in the chat and just let me know that you've got me loud and clear, and I will get into the slide deck. Bear with me because I am not the best at technology. So here we go, share screen. I'm hoping that this has done the trick. Get it in presenter mode. There we go. Okay. We are away. So hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Please let me know in the chat feed that you've got me, and I will keep moving forward. If you've got any dramas, again, let me know in the chat feed. I really want everyone to be able to get all the info today. So let's go. So like I said, if we haven't met yet, I'm a business owner. I've been an entrepreneur for over 18 years, which sounds crazy, turning 40 today. Yeah, to say 18 years, I don't even feel like I'm 18 years old, but I've been in business and a business owner for 18 years. Father of two girls. I've got Morgan 11 and Denver 8. I love life, adventure, the outdoors, the environment, health and fitness. I just love squeezing the most I can out of each day. But why we're here today and the things I've got to share with you today is I went from financially frustrated, time poor, out of shape, to complete freedom and as I say, living life by design. And I'm going to share with you exactly what you need and set you up to be able to go and do the same. So over the next 2 hours, we are going to deal with some mindset stuff first, because I'm sure you can agree with me, it's very important to get our mindset right, get our mind in the right place, doing the right things. We're going to set some proper goals. We'll teach you how to set some proper goals. If you haven't done that before, I'm going to take you through the process that I've refined over about 16, 17 years. Going to break them down, show you how to break those goals down into chunks of activity and action to get done. I'm going to share plenty of secrets with you along the way. You know, these things that that you pick up in the process that most people don't really put into a training or anything like that, but they're important. You know, these are things that can fast track your success. I'm going to share some proven success hacks in a system, things that I've done to create success habits every day, and move me towards where I want to be. And then at the end, if you want to hang around, we can do some Q&A and answer those questions that you have. I am really starting to panic that this is not going live in there anymore, because I'm not getting any of your comments through. And it's not telling me. Let me just double check this. And if somebody's on there that has my number or something like that, just message me to let me know what's going on. Okay, my computer down the bottom is what's frozen up. Awesome, I've got you. So every now and again, I'll tap into that phone. Keep your questions till the end, and we'll jump into those questions. So here's the thing that blows my mind, and this is from a mindset point of view. You know, when we're born, we know that, you know, a baby is just this infinite pool of potential. They can have anything that they ever want. But when we get older, we seem to forget this. You know, if you think of someone who's, and I don't say self-made because nobody's self-made, there's always a team around you, but someone who's come from humble beginnings and is living an amazing life right now, and especially if they're younger than us, right? And we've seen them go through that. You know, I'm not necessarily saying this guy's a role model and someone who I would want to be, but if you think of someone like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, one of the richest men in the world right now, he's in the top 3 at least, I think. But he did that in a very, very short period of time. Now, when we're born, I guess the first few years is, you know, learning just how to live and survive. Then the next is getting an education, going to school. Then you learn how to mess up as a teenager. And then it's like those later years from late teens to early 20s where we can achieve a lot. Someone can go from a 17, 18, 19-year-old and to be in a 20, 23, 25-year-old and create staggering things in their life. And we don't batter an eyelid. Like, that's just, we know that that's how it works, right? So that's, you know, 5 to 7 years, it's just crazy what can be done. But we don't think the same when we go, okay, say I'm, you know, 40 today, and I don't think in 45, 47, the drastic change that I can do. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're wanting, you can absolutely achieve it. And it's what I'm going to share with you today that can allow you to do that. So a few questions. This is a crazy question, and I don't think anybody, even those top performers in the world, can say yes to this. Are we maximizing our potential? I throw it in there because it just makes me ponder that question. You know, what is our potential? Our potential is infinite. So are we living the life of our dreams? Are you lucky enough to be living the life of your dreams right now? Or are you settling? You know, I used to settle. I used to just think, hey, this is as good as it gets for guys like me. Are you balanced? Balance is important. We've all seen people who are in phenomenal physical shape and their relationships are crappy or they're broke. People that are amazingly financially successful and they're way out of shape. So we want to be balanced, right? And are you feeling overwhelmed trying to implement? I know a lot of you guys that are on this webinar today have probably come down a path of personal development. You probably started a journey of personal development, and you've gained this knowledge, you've got all these strategies, but there's this feeling of overwhelm trying to implement it into our own lives. So I'm going to share with you some stuff exactly how to implement it. And are you ready to stop settling, basically? So I'm going to move pretty quick through this just to respect everyone's time. There's a lot that I want to get through, but don't stress. The recording will go into the group, and you will be able to go back and re-listen and access this. And, you know, obviously there's some people in time zones that can't get it live. They can access it as well. So do you set goals? If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. Goal setting, super important. Do you have your goals written down? Goals that are not written down are just wishes. We've probably heard this before, but here's the third part that nobody really talks about. Who's got a clear path, like a clear action plan and the path to take to achieve their goals? A mentor of mine says, you do not believe in your own goal if you can't see the path to achieve it. Who's set goals before and these big, crazy, scary, massively large goals compared to where we're at? And we go through the process, we set the goal, we write it down, but then nothing goes any further because we can't physically see the path. So, as much as we say, you want this, go get it, you're a go-getter, you're a champion, you're going to be able to do it, a little voice in the back of your head goes, well, you don't even know how to do it. You won't achieve that. So what we need to do is see the path, believe in the goal, because we can see the path. So some certainty. I love sharing this. If I've ever worked with you before, you've probably heard me quote this before, but there was a study back in 1979, year before I was born, and interviewers asked graduates from Harvard's MBA program and found that 84% had no specific goals at all. 13% had goals, but they were not committed to paper. 3% had clear written goals and plans to achieve them. Can you believe that? In the MBA program, a group of high achievers, there were only 3% that had clear written goals and plans to achieve them. So 10 years later, the interviewers again interviewed those same graduates of that class. And I saw this about 15 years ago, this study. And this was the one, this is why I always share it, because this is the one that just changed my life. And I just saw it and went, holy cow, this is the real deal. Check out these numbers. The 13% of the class who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% that had no goals at all. But this part absolutely baked my noodle. Even more staggering, the 3% who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the 97% combined. Read that again, 10 times as much. So the 3% who had clear written goals and plans to achieve them individually were earning on average 10 times of the rest of the class combined. Like, if that doesn't tell you that goal setting is a powerful thing, then I don't know what does. So this is what we're going to talk about first is goal setting. But what is goal setting? So I'm a tradie, so it's really easy for me to think about it as a blueprint type thing. People just don't rock up on a patch of dirt and start banging nails into wood and, all of a sudden a house appears. It's designed first. You want to complete it before you even start it. Every little detail, the more detailed you can get, the more likely it's going to turn out exactly how you want it. But then when I think about it as a map, let's say the island that I live on here in Fiji, if I told you that, first of all, if I just said, hey, there's an island and there's a ton of gold on the island buried somewhere. You can find it, it's yours. Then you're going to travel the world trying to find an island. Your chances of finding it are hardly anything, right? Zero. Then if I said it's an island in Fiji, it narrows it down. But then what if I said if it's this island? Even if I told you it was this island that there's gold on, you dig it up, you can keep it, you're still never going to find it. But what if I give you a map and that map's got details on it? And the more detailed the map, the easier it's going to be to find it. You can know exactly where the gold is. But a map is absolutely useless unless you work out where you are on the map. When you go into a shopping mall and you're in a foreign country or something like that, and there's the map of, the whole mall, and you want to find a certain shop, and it's like, here's the shop here. But there's always a thing on the map that says you are here, because we need to know where we're starting from. So, we help you guys with that through our website. There's documents and things in the resources tab that you can go through, and there's trainings in the resources tab to help you work out exactly where you're at. And then we go through the goal setting process to work out where we want to get to and get really clear on that. So the first step that you want to do to get certainty, and again, I'm going to go through this fast, so you might not be able to be going through this as a workshop, but you can definitely go back and do this. But step one, you want to write down as many things as you can that were once a dream or a desire or even a goal that you've already achieved. Things that are in your life now that were once a goal or a desire or a dream. So they never were in there, but here we are, 29th of November, 2020, and you've achieved them. So write down as many things as you can like that. Step two, put an asterisk next to 2 or 3 items that seemed like at one time totally impossible. Like you were never, ever going to be able to go and achieve these things. Put an asterisk next to 2 or 3 of those. And then those ones that you've put the asterisk next to, write down the steps that you took to move them from a dream or a goal to a reality. Now, here's the thing, and this year has really highlighted this for a lot of people. A lot of people I talk to, like, a few times a week, this is the case. Maybe you didn't achieve something consciously. but something stimulated you enough to turn it into a must and force you to create an outcome that you had to meet. So that's a fancy way basically of saying maybe something happened outside of your control that forced you or pushed you to go and create this. And like I say, this year is a great example of that. Everybody on the planet has had their life turned upside down this year. Doesn't matter who you are. It's not what we planned, right? So many people have gone and created a business that they never thought they would, gotten in shape, you know, done something about their health, their well-being, their immunity. Like so many people have gone and done great things in their life this year that they never would have done had the wheels not fallen off and this pandemic happened. So it's not always something that we actively go and do. You know, sometimes people go and get the dream job that they wanted only because they got laid off. Otherwise, they would still have been in the job that they didn't want and they never even would have applied for it. But they got laid off, they sent a few applications out, they ended up landing the dream job. So we're not always consciously doing this, and we've achieved it. So go through these steps and do that for something in your own world. And then think about this, you did it. You literally did it, but imagine what else you could achieve if you had a system around that. Imagine what else you'd be able to achieve in your life if you had a proven, tested process that could bring anything you want into your life. Anything that someone else has achieved, it can go and work for you here with this system. And that's what I love. You know, those people, and you can talk to them, the people that have gone and achieved crazy things, most of them will never think that they're special. They just know that they've been resilient, they've been consistent, they've followed a system, followed someone else who's walked the path, and they've done it. So if you've done something in the past, you can absolutely do anything. And I believe this is the system of how we do it. So we're going to set goals for wealth and abundance. A lot of people think of wealth as money and finances. It's definitely part of it. But trust me, if you've got no health, if you've got no relationships, you feel very far down the other end of the scale from wealthy. You know, what are some of the craziest people? And I think of people like Robin Williams, the comedian, staggeringly wealthy, staggeringly healthy. You know, he's got so much of everything except meaningful relationships, and he ends up taking his own life because of the relationship part. So we want to set goals to tick all the boxes, guys. We want to feel wealthy. We want to be wealthy. We want to have balance and abundance. So if you've ever done goal setting, you would have seen this before. SMART goals. If you haven't, I'll run through it super quick. So specific. We want to get really specific on our goal. You know, the easiest way for me to highlight this to you on this presentation, let you use weight loss as a goal. Some people say, hey, I want to lose weight. Terrible goal. Some people say, hey, I want to lose 5 kilograms. Fantastic. Specific. Is it measurable? Absolutely. 5 kilograms. You know exactly how much you need to lose. You know exactly where you're at. You can track it and measure your progress. Is it attainable? Well, for me, ART of SMART all tie in together. So recorded, obviously we want to have it written down, but the other part of the R is realistic, and then time frame. So attainable, I can say, okay, yes, I want to lose 5 kilograms. It's definitely measurable, it's specific, but I want to do that by the time I wake up tomorrow. So is that attainable or realistic in the time frame? Absolutely not. So they sort of tie in together. So I want to lose 5 kilograms and I want to lose it over the next 90 days. Then it's absolutely attainable and realistic in the time frame, and that's a great goal to be able to set. So when you go through, you want to keep this in mind. Am I being specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic in the time frame? And obviously we're going to record it now. So your goals, again, I'm going to go through this quick so that we can get through everything, and you've got this as a resource to go back to and work through the process. This is the time of year every year that I've set my goals. Every time it's end of November or always around my birthday, I set my goals for the next year, for 2021. I did it in 2019 for 2020. I did it 2018 for 2019. So I always think when people wait till January and do their New Year's resolutions and all that, you know, you're hitting you're flat-footed when the year starts. So let's get clear now. Let's get the goals set now. Use this as a resource. Use what I've shared with you today. Use the Q&A time if you need some more to get some more detail down. And then what you want to do is go through and actually do this process now, late November, early December, and you will hit 2021 flying. It's a rolling start. Everyone else is stuck standing there, and you'll just be when the straight past them as soon as the year starts. So what you want to do is write down anything you want to do, be, have, achieve, create, own, or experience in the following areas. Now, this is an important part for the balance. Remember, I say wealth and a balance and abundance. These are the areas I set goals in. The first one is business, career, financial, and assets. I want to set business, career, finance, and asset goals. You know, if it's, you know, the job that you want, the income level you want to have, investment property, share portfolios, whatever it is, you want to set goals, business, career, financial, and assets. Physical, health, and nutrition. Nobody is accidentally in good health. We've got to work on this. You know, we're going to get one body. People put more effort into maintenance and the health of their vehicle usually than they do with their own body. So you want to set goals around being healthy, getting the right nutrition, closing that nutritional gap. You know, there's a deficit. If we're just, you know, eating the 3 meals a day, buying our food, even if it's whole foods from the supermarket, there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a deficit. And it's those nutritional deficits that manifest into disease down the track. So you want to make sure you're setting goals around hitting these, keeping your body physically moving well, strong, and giving it the nutrition. Relationships and connection. This is everything. This is what life's all about. You know, if it wasn't, then all of these, you know, extremely wealthy people, extremely healthy people could go off and live wherever the hell they wanted by themselves and be happy, but they would be miserable. You know, it's all about relationships and experiences and connection that you have with one another and share. I have been, 2 things in the last 2 days. One, that little video that I played at the start, trying to squeeze that into like 2-3 minutes, and looking at how much stuff I had to leave on the floor and not put in there. Otherwise, we'd be here for the whole 2 hours watching a highlights reel of the last 15 years, I guess, in the process. I'm just incredibly grateful for the relationships and the connections along the way. And then number 2 today, some of the posts and things that people have been tagging me in and sending me through today for my birthday, but of, you know, things that we've done in the past. Man, that's what life's all about. So you just don't accidentally have a good marriage. You just don't accidentally be a good father or a good mother or a good brother. Like, you know, you've got to work on these things. So we've got to set some goals around that. Personal growth or skill set. We have to be growing. If we're not growing, we are dying. So we need to be setting goals to be growing every day, to be upskilling. And again, this year highlights that. Imagine those people that had one skill. Let's say they worked at a gym, for instance, and the gym gets shut down because of lockdowns. They go from earning an income to earning nothing. But if they had taken some sort of class or training on, say, online marketing or you know, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, bookkeeping, you know, whatever it is, things that they could have ran in an online space or something, then they've got another skill to fall back on. So, you know, we want to be growing. If we're not growing, we're dying, as I say. Contribution, contributing to others, big part of my realization. And seriously, only in the last 5 years for me have I realized how important this is to being happy every day. Sustainable joy. Business, career, finance, you know, physical health, nutrition, not so much. Relationship connections are important and all that sort of stuff. But contribution, man, that gives us sustainable joy, and personal growth gives us sustainable joy. They're the 2 main things that we want to make sure that we're doing to be happy. You know, I live in Fiji. I live in a country where a lot of the population don't have a lot, but they have great relationships. They're contributing to others regularly. And, you know, they're just happy. They've got a great outlook on life, and they're very spiritual. So you want to set some spiritual goals. Now, this may be religion if you're religious. If you're not, I'm not necessarily religious, but I class myself as fairly spiritual and in touch, in connection with Mother Nature, the universe. I'm sure whatever your beliefs are, I'm sure you'll agree with me that there's more at work in this world than we know about, than can be explained. There's just crazy stuff that goes down, and in the Q&A, I might even share some of that stuff down the track. So, okay. Now what we want to do, once we've gone through and we've set everything we want to do, be, have, create, achieve in all of those spots, go through that list and put a time frame next to each goal to when you want to achieve it. I like this is what I used to do: 90 days, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. I think the world's moving so fast and evolving so fast now that 5 years is even a little bit too long. So this year I've done 90 days, 1 year, 3 years. That's it. My 5 year goals have come back to 3 years, but it's up to you. 90 days, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Put the time frame, put the timestamp on when you want to create that by. And then your reason why. Choose your top 5 goals. Our why is so important. Not how, not what, but why we're doing things. You know, it's so important. It has us push through. It has us make sacrifices because it's important. Our why, if it's a should. So choose your top 5 goals, rewrite them down with a short paragraph of why you absolutely must achieve the goal in the given time frame. So write the goal, short paragraph of why you must achieve it in the given time frame. Then you want to write down all the possible effects on your life if you were to achieve your goals. You know, all the positive stuff, all the good things that happen if you when you achieve that goal. And then you also want to write down all the possible negative effects if you were not to achieve that goal. So as humans, we're motivated by moving towards pleasure or avoiding pain. Now, I can just about guarantee you every goal that you're going to write down, to obtain it, you're probably going to have to get out of your comfort zone at some point to obtain the goal. Now, even though we want these goals, we also want to avoid pain. Most of us want to avoid pain, and most of us associate getting outside of our comfort zone with pain. And you would have seen one of the posts I put in this group, and the countdown for this this event was about you know, about getting out of our comfort zone, understanding that it's just part of the process, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So we need to associate not achieving our goal with more pain and more discomfort than getting out of our comfort zone to go and achieve our goal. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So if you've got to go back and listen to this bit again, do it. It's important. Possible positive benefits for achieving the goal, and the negative things if you don't achieve the goal. And then once you've gone through that process, now this is going to take you a while. This takes me a couple of hours to do it properly and write it down. It takes me a couple of hours. So once you've gone through, you've done that, trust me, it's worth it. 2 hours work to set you up to live the life that you could only ever dream of, and to move towards that, to be making progress towards that. It's phenomenal feeling. So invest those 2 hours in yourself. Those goals are worth it. And when you've done that, think of that study that I shared at the beginning. You're ahead of 97% of the people out there once you go and do that. Getting goals written down, getting clear goals, set the right way and written down, puts you ahead of 97%. Think of that, like in the Harvard study. But there's always another level, right? There's always another way to fast track, supercharge. And in the Harvard study, what put them in the top 3% was just having the plan to go and achieve it. So what I'm going to share with you now is the stuff that most people don't share with you when you do goal setting. Most people don't talk about these things that I'm going to talk about now. And these are the important things. Yes, it's awesome to have them written down, to have them set and written down. But remember the statistic, 10 times the income of the 97% combined, because they were doing this stuff here. And I believe that's probably why people keep it a secret. So number one rule, whenever you've set a goal, you absolutely never, ever, ever leave the side of setting a goal without taking some sort of action towards achieving it. You pick up the phone, you book yourself into an appointment or a class, or you download a book or a course or whatever it is. You run to the fridge and the cupboard and you get every single processed food out, refined sugars, whatever your goal is. One that I've shared a few times with people was public speaking was an absolute phobia of mine, like petrified phobia. I'm telling you, when I something like this today, so I've had nerves today knowing that I was going to do this, but it's like nerves before a big footy game. I've been so fired up, excited about this, I couldn't wait for it. But I used to have nerves where I would have the runs all day and I'd sometimes vomit. And then when I'd start talking like this, I'd have a lump in my throat that was so big that I couldn't get my words out, couldn't talk properly, and I would cry but it wasn't like I would cry, but my eyes would water like I was crying, and my voice would be so shaky. So, you know, when I set my goals, and especially my goals on contribution to others, and some of my business, career, and financial goals, I knew I had to get better at public speaking. So when I set that goal, when I was taking my action steps at the end of setting my goals, my goal setting process, I literally did some research. I found out that there were a few things that could really help you with public speaking. And one of the ones that I thought, hey, this is worth a try, was hypnosis. So I found a hypnotherapist. I booked in 3 appointments, and 2 appointments into it, completely got rid of my fear of public speaking. So that's what you do. You want to set a goal. If it's to get in shape, or you know, drop some kilos, or whatever it is. It might be, you know, getting in touch with someone to do a meal program for you, or a training program, or whatever it is. So you want to do something straight away. Any little thing, something that moves you towards achieving it. Just that little bit of positive step in the right direction. If it's a relationship goal, it might be just picking up the phone and ringing someone. Hey, how you been? Haven't spoken to you for a while. Not sure why we haven't even spoken. Have you ever had that, where you've got this relationship and things have been fantastic, and now there's this weird feeling, but nothing's happened, but it's just that you haven't spoken for a while. So pick up the phone and ring. Hey, how you doing? You know, thought I'd reach out. Hadn't spoken for a while, and you know, thought I'd just touch base. And just taking some sort of action. So that's the first thing you want to do. Then you want to read your goals every single day. This is why having them written down is important, but written down, shoved in the top drawer, that's no good. Reading them every single day. You want to ask yourself the question when you're reading them, after you've read them, what's the next step? What action can I take to bring me towards achieving that goal? What's the next step I can take, or what action can I take? What's the next step I can do? What action can I take? I just keep asking that. And then when I've done it, I ask it again. And then when I've done it, I've asked it again. And so I'm just taking these little steps forward every single day. So read your goals, ask yourself that question every day. Practice affirmations. Affirmations are life-changing gold. It's the airy-fairy hippie type stuff that I got told was all rubbish when I was growing up. Turns out it had one of the biggest impacts on my life ever. I'm going to share some stuff with you around this stuff. Like these points now, I'm going to expand on these. So if you don't know what affirmations are, don't stress. Create a vision and mission statement. Think about it. The best companies in the world, the most successful companies in the world, have a vision and mission statement. So, you know, a company is an entity. We're an entity. We want to have a vision and mission statement for ourselves. If we want to be like the best performing companies out there, we want to be one of the best performing humans out there. Create a vision board. Love this stuff. I'm a visual guy. So vision boards, and I'm a bit artistic and creative sort of. So vision boards are awesome. If you haven't done that, I'm going to show you how we go through and do that. This one, tell people around you, like your loved ones and your friends, you tell them your goals. Like I'm standing in front of you right now, having completed like a marathon, a 42.2 kilometer marathon that I didn't even want to do. I set a goal. I thought it was a good idea in the shower one time. I got out of the shower, rang my cousin, told him I was going to do it, told my wife, she had a friend over, told them I was going to do it. Then I'm start training to do it. Turns out I got a broken ankle. Before I'd even started training, I was living with a broken ankle and wondering why I was complaining about it. It was broken, needed an ankle reconstruction, needed rehab, all of that sort of stuff. I'm out hitting the pavement 4:30 in the morning because I had to do it before getting up at 5:30 for going onto a building site. I used to live in Adelaide, Australia, freezing cold in the mornings, like sometimes 2-3 degrees and raining in the middle of winter. And I'm going, what the hell am I doing? I don't even want to run a marathon. But it was that one thing of me telling others that I was going to do it. And I'm never going to be that person that says I'll do something and doesn't do it. So it's one of the best things I've ever done in my life, achieving a marathon. It's just an average guy achieving it in my goal time frame, and 42.2 kilometers running nonstop. That's insane, right? So it was that point. So make sure we're telling and sharing our goals. Some people say, you know, set goals. I read something the other week. Set goals, set them big, shut up, tell nobody, and go to work. So that might work for you, but set you up to fail, I reckon. Set the goals, tell people, but tell your cheerleaders as well. Tell the people who you love and care about and your friends, the people who cheer you on and love to see you succeed. Practice manifestation. Totally changed my life. Had a crazy thing happen last night at the pizza bar from manifestation, which has been going for 15 years, believe it or not. And yeah, at the end, I might share the story around that if I think about it in the Q&A. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is so important. You know, where focus goes, energy flows. What we think of and focus on, we get more of in our life. So many people focus on the rubbish in their life and they end up with more rubbish. Focus on everything that you're grateful for, and you'll start to get more of that show up in your life. And then track meeting your needs. You know, this is the meeting your needs tracking. If you don't know much around that, you know, there's a lot of stuff online. You can research this, but basically you've got connection, significance, certainty, variety, growth, and contribution. So when we're all meeting these needs, you know, it keeps us surviving basically. And we have different dominance in these. We can meet it in a positive, negative, or a neutral way. But at the end of the day, we're doing the things that we're doing, the habits that we've created, they're there because they meet those needs and it keeps us functioning. So when we change up what we're doing to go and achieve the goal, if we haven't changed it up in a way that replaces things and still meets the needs, we can't do it for long. So this is why people stop. They go for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, but then they go back to their old ways because they need to be meeting these needs. So you want to have some awareness around your needs. What ones are dominant for you? How are you meeting them? Making sure you're meeting them in a positive way, then making sure yet the activity to go and achieve your goals is still meeting those needs that you need to have met in the hierarchy of the order. So that's a game changer for people to be consistent with their goals, and it's consistency that has us winning. So what are affirmations? Affirmations, what's another word that people use for it? Incantations, affirmations, mantra type thing. So they're positive phrases or statements used to challenge negative thoughts and reprogram the subconscious patterns you've developed from birth, from experiences through life, good and bad. So they help us change our limiting beliefs, motivate ourselves, encourage positive changes in our life, boost our self-esteem, and undo negative self-talk. If you aren't actively practicing affirmations, I can guarantee you're still practicing them. We all do them. We've all got the self-talk. We all do it. So if we're doing it anyway, why don't we take control of them and harness the power of them as to what we're what we're speaking into existence. And it says exactly there. So what you say to yourself, you can speak into existence. It can attract things that you want, and it could be what holds you back from being the best version of you and having success in life. So when do I say affirmations? Some people have them on their bathroom mirrors and say them each and every morning to set up and win their day. Our website, we can show you again on the resources tab. Sorry, we've got documents on there to help you be able to create your own affirmations. And here's what you want to be doing. You want to create affirmations for each area of your life. As I said, business, career, financial, and assets. I've been having the same affirmation for years and years and years. I say it every day. I say it when I'm walking, running, fishing, whatever. I'll say things like, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I just say that all the time. I've been saying it for, 15 years or more now. So that's my business, career, financial, and assets. So you want to set an affirmation in each of these things, what you want, what you want to feel like, what you want to attract: business, career, finance, health, nutrition, relationships, connection, personal growth, skill set, contribution, and spiritual. Do an affirmation in each one. Vision and mission statements. How are we looking on time? We are killing it. Good work. So, vision and mission statement. Describe how your dream life looks 5 to 10 years into the future. So, a vision statement is like future tense. So you want to create that. Describe what success looks like in your life. Get descriptive on your measurable goals. So when I'm writing my vision statement, I've got my goals handy. I'm setting the goals first. I'm doing all this in order for you guys. So I want to set my goals first. Then I want to write a mission statement combining all of those goals and getting very descriptive of what I'll be like, say, 5-10 years from now, having achieved those goals. Use phrases like I will be, I will have, I will create. So mission statement. Identify past successes. Identify your core values. Identify your contributions. Identify your goals. So write it all into a mission statement, which is present tense, speaking as if you have already created this, you are already achieving it, you are living, breathing it out every single day. So here is an example. So this is literally my vision statement. So I will become a major influence and global contributor to help people and the planet be more balanced and operate in a sustainable way. That's my personal vision statement that I've created when I look at the sum of all of my goals, and I've pieced that together. So my mission statement, again, this is my personal mission statement I'm sharing with you here. So to continue to have the time and money freedom that help create an amazing and fulfilled life for myself, my family, and loved ones. I take every opportunity to do everything I can to personally grow every day. I positively impact and contribute to others. I motivate and inspire them to achieve their hopes and dreams through my actions and my results. So there's lots of stuff online around visions and mission statements. You absolutely want to go through, set your own up after you've done your goals, have it written down, have it somewhere handy again, where you read it every single day. This is the stuff, you know, here's the thing. The success habits are easy to do, but they're easy not to do. So I know life gets in the way. Life's busy. We're all busy. We all fill up those 24 hours. I'm going to talk about some of that down the track in this presentation. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that even if it means we've got to get up 30 minutes earlier or stay up 30 minutes later or whatever it is, we still want to schedule this in and make sure that we do it, because it's doing these little things that makes all the difference, these 1%ers. Hints and tips, read them both every day. Schedule a time in your default week. Default week I'm going to explain in this training. Combine it with a manifestation exercise, you know, live, breathe, and feel it. So, you know, a lot of the time, you know, deep breathing, you know, I do it sitting down. I got a little spot on the beach. I got a couple of little spots here along the beach. I got a couple of little spots up in the rainforest behind me. So, you know, that's how I go and do it, and just take it in everywhere. So keep your vision and mission statements and look back on them. I love this. I love all of this stuff that I've spoken about. Vision boards, goals, vision, mission statements, all of this stuff. I keep, even my diaries and my scheduling, I keep to be able to look back on what I was doing, when I was doing it, what was working, what wasn't. So definitely set yourself up to be able to keep this stuff. So a vision board, here's the fun, creative stuff. What is a vision board? It's a powerful tool to manifest your life desires. A vision board is a visual and physical representation of the goals that you're aiming to achieve. So again, the beginning of the process is going through that goal workshop. Then what you want to do is set yourself up a vision board based on those. Why? So they're fun to create for starters. They can serve as an invaluable tool to motivate and inspire you towards your daily action and pursuits. But when you keep it in a space where you can see it daily, a vision board brings your goals and aspirations into life. And it's also a really good way to get buy-in from the rest of the family and people around you. If you've got that, if you've got a partner, if you've got, you know, husband, wife, and kids or whatever, it's fantastic for that. So this was us setting up a vision board late last year. So your vision board should align with your goals, and that you've set in all of those 6 areas. Create a picture collage. It's basically a picture collage representing your goals visually. You know, use old magazines. Google Images has been the best thing ever that's happened for me for vision boards. You know, I used to have to go around to my mum's house and get all these old magazines. My sister, my wife used to buy a lot of the trashy magazines, and you know, try and sift through these magazines. And it used to take forever for me to find what I was looking for and piece together my vision board. Google, man, you go in, you type in what you want, and bang, it's there. You know, matte black Lamborghini Aventador, orange brake calipers. Image search comes up, print, bang, straight into the vision board. So make it fun, and then the whole family can buy into it. And then what's awesome is if you're looking at it regularly as well, as you're doing these things, then, you know, you start to see them there. And vision boards are so powerful that I've done this in the past. You know, I said about cutting magazines and stuff. You know, I would slip things in there that I just see on the magazines, like not really having even set goals around them or whatever it is. And then, as I said, I keep my stuff, and I find a vision board from like 4, 5, 6 years ago or whatever, and I'll just have a reflection back over it, looking at the board, and it's like, holy cow, there's that watch, or there's, you know, that car and that color, or whatever it is, things that I didn't even really set goals around, that have turned up in my life. So they are absolutely powerful. So hints and tips, look at it every day. As I said, schedule that time in. Schedule the time where you look at it. For me, it's first thing in the morning. Combine it with a manifestation exercise again. Keep every vision board to look back on. My personal experience, as I said, I'll maybe share some of this. I've shared some of it just then, but we can share more of this in the Q&A if you've got any questions around it. Now, here is the absolute gold where I want to share with you the proven success hacks. This is if I've got one thing to share with you from this presentation, all of that other stuff is, as I say, it's so important, and it's the beginning process of it. But this here, guys, this is the real deal. This is it. So our goals, we want to break our goals down. So as I said, the 5, 3, 1 year goals, whatever, we break them down into a monthly goal. So this is where I work on my 12-month goals, and I break them down into what has to get done in that month to achieve the overall goal in the given time frame. So, you know, the 12-month goal, it's, again, we'll say losing weight. So I want to lose 20 kilos in 12 months. What do I need to get done this month in order to achieve that goal 12 months down the track? So we can't plan results. We can only plan activity. That's the brain buster. You know, so many people just write results, plan results, schedule in results, whereas we need to schedule in the activity, right? So you want to remember that we can only plan activity. So doing this and breaking it down removes chance and guesswork out of the equation. It's breaking down big things into small steps that allows average people like me to achieve extraordinary things. So breaking it down, scheduling it in, and then sticking to it, all of these tiny little positive steps in the right direction all compound to get you into crazy destination. So how do you do it? So at the beginning of each month, I review my goals in all 6 areas. You know, I'll spend this process is probably about 45 minutes at the beginning of each month. And so I'm looking at all of my goals in all the 6 areas, and I calculate that gap from where I am. I should have been making progress from the last month, or it's right at the beginning of the year. Obviously, there's no progress yet. So I calculate the gap from where I am to where I want to be achieving that goal. Now, calculate how much time is left also to achieve the goal, then break the goal down into monthly milestones. But it doesn't have to be, you know, perfectly. Like, let's say if I want to, I'll make it easy. I'll say 12 kilos in 12 months. I don't have to lose 1 kilo a month. It's not breaking it down like that. It's, you know, it's having a realistic plan around it. So, you know, I might lose 2 kilos in my first month. Then I might have a plateau month where I, you know, I'm still working hard, still working towards it, but it might only be, you know, a couple 100 grams or whatever it is. So that's probably not a real good example, because 12 kilos, a kilo a month over a year, you know, easy to do. But put the broken down monthly milestone into your next month goal. So my bigger goals, so let's say it is the 20 kilos in my physical health and nutrition. I might go, okay, this first month, I want to lose 4 kilograms in my first month. So that's I'll write that in that slot. So it's a chunk of my yearly goal broken down into what I have to achieve this month to be on track to achieve it over the 12-month period. Hints and tips: be extremely honest with yourself. Do not set yourself up to fail, guys. you know, no one's judging you and looking at this. This is just for you and yourself. So be honest with where you're at. It doesn't have to be the goal gap divided by the time left. As I said, it doesn't have to be just done in even things. And these things don't happen, especially if it's relationship stuff. You know, it takes, well, anything, you know, a long time of neglect takes more than, you know, 5 minutes to turn around. So it might go on a curve. You might, you know, just text message here and there, and then the odd phone call, and then a catch up, and then next minute you're hanging out doing things all the time. So yeah, it's not the gap divided by the time. It's an honest plan with where you're at and the chunks to achieve it. Don't overthink how. This isn't the how step. This is all about the what it is, what needs to be done. It's not how I'm going to do it. So again, going back to the 5 kilos, got to lose 5 kilos in December to hit my goal. And then you go, oh my God, how am I going to lose 5 kilos? It's Christmas, it's party time, it's holiday season. Don't even think about the how yet. It's just what needs to be done. And it's working out what needs to be done. It's reflecting on why you need to do it. Remember, why is so important. And then the how, you just make it happen. If you know what you need to do and you know why you need to, and like really why it needs to be done, the how, simple, so easy. So your default week, this is the piece of resistance. I don't even know if I said that properly, but anyway, what is the default week? So it's what your perfect week would look like. So if next week just goes amazing for you, and it's crazy that we're doing this on a Sunday, that might have happened for a reason. So next week, what does next week look like? How does that look for you? If it was absolutely perfect, if everything went exactly how you would want it to go, what does that look like? It's setting up a structure so you run the day instead of the day running you. A mentor of mine, I've followed him for years and years and years, Jim Rohn, he said that either you run the day or the day runs you. Let's not end up being run by the day. Who knows where you're going to end up in life if that's the case. You want to win each day. So it's forward planning, but it's also allowing for the inevitable hiccup. We know those happen. Again, this year's been a massive awakening for people realizing that, hey, hiccups come. You cannot control everything. It's always going to come. And if you're not set up for it, it will derail you and you will stop dead in your tracks. You know, how many people have on this Zoom or webinar have ever wanted to go and achieve something, and then, you know, let's say it's a physical health goal, right? And so I want to eliminate sugar, refined sugar out of my diet. Let's say it's an extreme one like that, right? So eliminate all refined sugar out of my diet. You go good for the first few days, awesome. You go good for the first week or so, that's fantastic. Next week, going good. Then there's a party or something, and you make a mistake and you get stuck into the soda or the jelly beans or whatever it is. And then you're like, oh, you know, I've stuffed up now, you know, and then you stay stuffed up. You stay off track and you go, oh, you know, I was going all right, but, you know, I ruined it. It's going to happen. You know, we're human. We give in. We have, I guess I don't want to offend anyone here, but brain fart sometimes. Sometimes we're just not thinking straight and we do silly things. But if we've got a default week, we can get back on when we do have those hiccups, when we've been put into a situation or circumstance where we can't do what we want to do, but maybe we still make the best decision we can with what we have, but we've still been knocked off track. So we can get back on track with it. So why do we do it? So we do this to effectively manage our tasks. We do this to keep consistent. Consistency wins. I'm talking to people, you know, with coaching and mentoring and so forth. Every day I'm talking with people, and I say this pretty much every day, multiple times a day. One Big Mac doesn't get you out of shape, and one salad doesn't get you healthy. It's consistently doing the right or wrong thing. You know, putting some money in a savings account once doesn't get you wealthy. It's consistently putting it in and not touching it. So consistency wins in every sense. So we do it so we can stay on track as long as we can, and easily get back on track if we get knocked off. Basically, we're doing this to be in control, as I said, so that we run the day, so that we are proactive in our day and not reactive. And so we don't let our mouth overload our back. You know, saying yes here's the biggest challenges for most people in the world, in today's world anyway. One, saying yes. we feel like we need to say yes all the time, and our mouth overloads our back and we can't fit everything in, and it's our stuff that usually we sacrifice. Our things pay the price because we want to get these things done for the other people we said yes about. So that's a challenge. And the next biggest challenge is distractions. You know, where these things, mobile phones these smartphones are the best things ever for, you know, building business and keeping in touch with people, and you know, helping us with our training and our nutrition. Like that, it's just a crazy tool. It can be awesome, but it's the biggest distraction ever. How often have you gone on to do something on the phone, and next minute you're looking at this happened to me the other night when I was actually doing I was literally putting this slide deck together, and next minute, and I had no idea how this even happened, right? But next minute I was looking at instant karma videos on YouTube. You know, the instant karma stuff where someone's gone to steal something off someone, and then something's gone bad and they've fallen over and broken their ankle or whatever it is. Like, I ended up in this instant karma thing, and I'm sitting there going, dude, how did you end up here? Get back on track, slap myself around, and got back onto the task at hand. So distractions are everywhere, and saying yes. So this is the best tool ever to help us not get distracted as often and not overload our back. How do we do it? So I go out to my goals for the month and I highlight each area. I color code each area. So choose a color for each section of your goals. Then each Sunday, I do this every Sunday for the Monday, I plan out my major action steps that I need to take in the week to achieve my goals by the end of the month. So you can see on my planner here up the top left there, I've got weekly goals. So this is my monthly what goals. You know how I said that's where we're working, when we're breaking it down, it's what needs to be done. Sticking to the example, 5 kilograms needs to be lost by the end of this month. My weekly is the how. So how am I going to do that? Okay, so I'm going to work out 3 days a week, 45 minutes cardio, 2 days a week, 45 minutes resistance work. So they're my activity goals. 3 times 45 cardio, 3 times 45 resistance. Then, you know, open up a high interest bearing savings account, talk to financial advisor, whatever the how is for each goal, right? So my monthly ones, I break down what needs to be done this week to move towards it. Then what I do is I highlight the hours of each day that I want to dedicate towards that. Now, depending on where you are in your journey, depends on what's going to take a big chunk of your day. So business, career, finance, and assets, for most of us, that's the big chunk. You know, we spend a lot of our life ticking those boxes, moving towards those goals. You know, if it's a job, it's probably going to be, you know, 9 to 5 minimum. You know, who knows? 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours each day is going to be highlighted out in that business, career, finance. So I just highlight that out, the time that I'm dedicating to business, career, finances, and assets. If your job takes up a big chunk of this and you're not happy, over the moon happy every day in your job, please do not dedicate most of your life to something you're not happy about and then come home and not dedicate some time towards achieving your dreams. You know, if you're doing 60, 70, 80 hours a week like I was still coming home and working on my future, working on my fortune, working on financial assets and incomes that were going to give me the lifestyle. So don't sacrifice all that time and not invest something that's important to you. Sorry, I got dogs barking here. If it's annoying, that's what they're doing, chasing someone. So health, physical health and nutrition goals, you know, highlight that out. For me, it's in my lunch break. I make sure I'm working on that stuff, and first thing in the morning. Relationships and connection, you know, maybe you've got a commute to work in the morning and you've got, you know, half an hour on a train, bus, or driving, or an hour, or whatever it is. So I love making calls and touching base with people while I'm driving, because I'm using that time anyway. So I lock it in and I'll touch base with, you know, sisters, parents, friends, and business partners, and so forth, just when I'm on a commute somewhere. So I'll lock that in and make sure I'm doing it. you know, example I gave here, maybe Friday night's a date night. We make sure that once a month, we're definitely just doing a date night with Beck and I. And then maybe Sunday was, you know, something with the kids. Maybe we're going picnic on a little sandbar, you know, out in the bay here or something. So, or movie night or dinner or whatever. So I dedicate that time. Then personal growth and skill set. You know, maybe that's Thursday nights. For me, it was always Thursday nights. I would lock in a big chunk where I'm doing something major, like some sort of course or program or something. But then also, if in the morning, that hour commute, I'd have first half an hour of it, I'd be listening to an audio or some sort of online course or personal development book or something. So I'm just ticking that box and doing it every day. Contribution. So, you know, we might be a big chunk on a Saturday. It might be a webinar that you're doing for someone. Like, this is ticking my contribution box most definitely. You know, there's probably some people on this webinar that helped with a bra drive that we had, and you know, there's so much work that went in behind the scenes there, and so we had to schedule that in, you know, to make that happen. And then your spiritual goals, for me, that's always first thing in the morning. Just sets myself up to win the day. I always say, win the morning, win the day. Get out in the morning, get in this crazy still time, and then tick your spiritual goals. Maybe there's some meditation, some manifestation. For me, it's just getting in the environment, you know, sitting with a nice tree. It sounds weird, and you're probably going to think I'm a weirdo, but you know, sitting with a nice tree and just, you know, breathing it in and enjoying it, or getting in the ocean. I make sure I'm in the ocean pretty much every day, and that's a spiritual thing for me. So you highlight it out. So this isn't writing anything in yet, guys. This is just highlighting out the time that you want to dedicate to those activities, those areas of your life. And notice, like with my planner, I make sure I've got 24 hours in the day, because I want to track my sleep as well, make sure I'm getting the right sleep, and then make sure I've got some time in there where nothing's planned and you just, you know, go with the flow and do whatever happens. So then scheduling the activity you need to do to achieve your goals. So when it's highlighted, that's when I go and I look back up in my weekly goals and I grab those workouts and I slot those into the times that I've dedicated to health and physical fitness, nutrition. You know, well, I might, if I'm working 9 to 5, I'll slot those in the business, career and finance times. You know, if date night's happening, I'll put that in there. And so you slot in the activities that you need to be doing to move towards achieving those goals that week for that month. And then as tasks come in, you slot them to where they need to be. You know, so I jump on a lot of, you know, spare of the moment phone calls with one business that I'm a part of. You know, I might be answering questions of someone who's looking at partnering with us in business, or explaining a little bit more about some of our products to a potential customer or something like that. So, you know, when business is growing like crazy out of control, like it's been going right now, it's easy for that just to ruin your life and take over everything, and then have your wife resent your business and have your kids resent your business and all of that sort of stuff. And we don't want that, right? So we plan it out like this. So when one of those calls come in, I might look there and say, okay, you know, let's say my whole week's full, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then I go, okay, I can do Thursday 1 p.m. or Thursday 4 p.m, which works for you. Oh, I can't do that. Thursday doesn't, 1 or 4 doesn't. And then I go, okay, what about Friday? And so I make sure I'm fitting it into the time that I've dedicated towards that activity. And then it has me not paying a price that I don't want to pay, you know, neglecting other areas of my life. You know, maybe it's time with my kids, my wife, maybe it's looking after myself, maybe it's time in nature, neglecting those things for these other tasks. So I can schedule them as they come in. Does it always happen? No. There's times where things are out of control and the crap hits the fan, so to speak, and this whole thing goes out the window. So let's say Wednesday was just a crazy day, and on the building sites, this used to happen to me. Something would happen. Scaffold collapsed, or, you know, someone crashed one of our vans, or whatever it is. And so the whole day goes crazy. But then, so that happens on Wednesday, that happens on Wednesday. Then Thursday, I can get back to it. And the things that didn't get done Wednesday, I can shuffle around. I try and fit them in to where they need to be. This makes me really, really, really productive. So then your to-do list as they come in. So you slot them where they need to be so they don't negatively impact your week, as I said. So you know, this sets us up to be in control of what's going on. And I do it on a Sunday night when I've got myself in a positive state of mind. I'm sure you guys can relate to this, and you're exactly like me. When you're in a positive state of mind, you'll make good decisions. When you're in a negative or a crappy state of mind, you make bad decisions. So people make a decision and then, you know, they get negative down the track because of something else that's happened, and they change their mind because now this is how they're feeling. And I set my week up like this on a Sunday when I'm in a positive state of mind, and then I stick to it. And then when I'm feeling crappy, when something happens and I want to not get up in the morning and, you know, go for a workout or catch up with this person or whatever, I go, no, you made that decision when you were in a good state of mind. You made that decision to move you towards where you want to be and your goals, and you set those goals because they're important to you. So stick to it. So here's another, I guess, major hint. When I started doing this, it's working 70, 80 hours a week. You like block 70, 80 hours out of that, those two pages there, and there's not a lot left. So you go, how the hell do I do my business, career, finance outside of those 70, 80 hours that I'm working on? How do I do my physical health, nutrition, relationships, all of that sort of stuff? So as I said, for me, it was like I had to create some more free time. So I just got up earlier. So then I would go, okay, I need to make sure I'm going for a run for 45 minutes in the morning. So I schedule that in. Then, you know, there's 45 minutes. But then if I've got to catch up with a friend, you know, there's a half an hour to an hour. So then there's like an hour and 45 minutes. Then if I've got to, you know, do a bit of meditating, getting into nature type thing, there's another 15 minutes to half an hour. So we're talking 2 hours. So what, am I getting up at 3:30 a.m.? Like, no, that's not what this is about. So what I do is I go, okay, maybe I'm going to get up at 5:30 a.m. I'm going to go for a run on the beach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring up my mate and say, I haven't seen for a while, and say, hey, what are you doing on Monday? Do you want to go for a run on the beach with me Monday morning before work? So then there's two things happening, but then there's the third thing happening because I'm that beach guy, the ocean guy. It's all. So I'm spending some time at the beach in the environment. I might have done, you know, 15 minutes earlier before he was there, like a meditation or something like that, or I might hang back 15 minutes later and just lay in the water for a bit or whatever it is. So I'm moving my relationships goals forward, I'm moving my health goals forward, I'm moving my spiritual goals forward, and it's all happened in the hour before I've had to go to work. So you can stack things up and you can design your week out really well by using this as a default week. I hope you have seen the value in this. It is next level crazy. Hints and tips: use pencil in case you need to shuffle. Can't stand it when people write in their diary in pen. You know, things change. You know, we need to be able to go with the flow when that happens. So if things go sideways, get back on track as soon as you can, and acknowledge it. Yes, today went down the crapper, but tomorrow's not going to. And those things that I was going to get done today, I'm still going to get them done. I'm just going to shuffle it around, and it's going to look like this, and I'm going to get back on track. It might mean staying up a bit later, getting up a bit earlier, but it's making sure all of it gets done. Don't let your mouth overload your back. As I said, the easiest thing is to say yes, but at what cost? So it's about dreaming big, but not just being a dreamer. People used to say to me all the time, and it's almost an insult, especially if you're tuning in from Australia and you know that movie, The Castle, you know, tell him he's dreaming type thing. People would always, you know, do you know how many times I've said to people, like for the last 20 years, like since I was 20 or so, that I'm going to live on an island somewhere out in Fiji one day. Oh yeah, whatever. Oh, you know, even people that I love and they love me, like parents and friends and family, and so, you know, there was they were absolutely like peeing on my fire, basically. But I didn't take any of that on board. And yes, I was a dreamer and I did dream big, but I also put a system behind it and a proven strategy to move me towards doing it. And you know, that example, absolutely, of, you know, last 2.5 years I've been living here and doing that. And you know what was crazy, when, like, using that as an example, when we said that we were moving and started to pack things up and you know, sell off part of our life back in Australia, people were like, oh my God, are you really doing it? It's like, well, yeah, I am. What do you think? I was just lying for the last 15 years. Like, so dream, but don't just be a dreamer. So Q&A, we are absolutely flying along. I'm going to try and, what I'll do is I'll stop the share, and I am going to open up the live here. Cool. Now I have you. I have you guys. Whoops. So you can jump in the chat now and absolutely fire away with any, where is it? Any questions that you've got, fire away, and I will do my best to answer them. Here we go. All right. I really wish I was better at technology and better set up to be able to help with this. Looks like there's been a lot of comments in there. So I can see myself on the screen, like looking like an idiot, looking at my phone. So if you've got any questions, chuck them in there now. There's a huge delay from when I'm talking to what is showing up on here. I think that's because I'm going via Zoom and my internet is probably on Fiji time, which certainly happens here. But yeah, fire the questions away. I'll comment in there now and see if that pops up. And anytime. Cool. So hopefully you guys have seen that. Surely you have some questions. And while I'm waiting for a question to come through, big shout out to our housekeeper, Sala. When I was setting up the webinar here, she actually went and did these flowers just from our garden and set that up. She's amazing. Love what she does for us here. Doesn't look like there's any questions. Man, we have flown through this. Or maybe there's questions and I am not. I'm just a tech loser and not getting them. Let me drop off of the live, open up the comments. Okay. What was the biggest mistake you made that didn't work for you to grow your success? So lots of mistakes. And here's the thing that I try to instill into my kids as well. When you're at school and you guys ever had where the teacher asks a question of the class and you put your hand up and then you say what you're thinking and you get it incorrect and you feel like an idiot. And the class has a little snigger and the teacher might say something that's a little bit of a nice one. And so then next time that happens, you don't even put your hand up. But what we don't realize is that's how we learn. We fail our way forward. There's so many great quotes out there and things, but I guess the successful person has failed more times than the unsuccessful person has probably even tried. So it is part of the process. We do make mistakes along the way. But biggest mistakes that I've made, first of all, just making assumptions. You never assume anything without digging deeper. Communication is huge in relationships. Communication is huge in business. And so, it's making assumptions. You ever done that? You ever felt like you've thought something? You thought someone said something. And how did it make you feel? Your blood was boiling, you're seething or whatever. And then next time I see them, I'm going to, give them a mouthful or whatever. And then it turns out that they didn't even say that and wasn't even said. And it was totally incorrect. And so you went through all of that for no reason. So there's a great book called The 4 Agreements. And one of the 4 agreements is don't make assumptions. So definitely assumptions have made me make a large amount of mistakes. Comparing to others is the thief of happiness and progress. I see it in so many places. And sadly, things like Facebook and Instagram in particular, like Instagram, it's awesome. And at the same time, it's toxic as hell, especially for body image stuff. It's just ridiculous. And so I see people that are just fantastic, beautiful people in every way, comparing themselves to what they think other people look like and even like people portray what they want you to think their life's like. So we know that they do that on social media, but they do it as to how they look. I've met people face to face that I'm friends with on social media and I had no idea who the hell they were. And I'm like, I still had no idea after I'd met them and everything. And then I'd go back home, and then, you know, they'd message me or something, and I'd be like, that was you? Like, you don't even look like that. It's like, you know, so never compare yourself to anything that's going on. Everybody's doing their own race. Everybody's doing the best they can from wherever they're at. And, you know, if you implement the things that we're talking about today, stick in your own lane, you know, don't make assumptions, and don't compare. You're gonna save yourself from making a lot of mistakes. So that's probably my two biggest things: making assumptions and comparison. So yeah, hopefully that's helped. Any other questions? Quick one while I'm waiting for, if you guys are going to chuck any more questions in there. At my 30th, you know, manifestation thing that I was doing was playing Jack Johnson at my 30th birthday, to have Jack Johnson come and play at my 30th birthday. You know, I was saying it for years and years and years, and everyone's like, oh yeah, whatever, you know, who do you think you are? Anyway, long story short, my mum and dad met his manager somehow on a holiday. My birthday's on the 29th of November, as we said today. And my mum told him that story, and then he said, well, when's your son's birthday? 29th of November. Where does he live? Adelaide. This was 10 years ago when I lived in Adelaide. And he said, you're not going to believe this, but Jack Johnson's playing in Adelaide on the 29th of November, and there'll be tickets at the box office for your son and however many people he wants, and Jack Johnson's going to play at his 30th. And so that was crazy, right? We've been talking about that forever. Anyway, last night, my 40th, I went to a pizza bar on the other side of the island here, you know, got pizzas, a few drinks, everything, but we were first there. The bar was just opening up. We walk in, we sit down, you know, we ordered some pizzas, we ordered some drinks. They're just getting set up. They put the music on. Jack Johnson starts playing at my 40th as well. Classic. But, you know, one thing I wanted to share with you guys is if you're looking for ways to, now my phone's ringing. If you're looking for ways to implement this stuff, we put all this together in the Lifestyle Planner. Now, I know a few of you have this Lifestyle Planner that are on here, but we've set it up in exactly the way. So there's all the normal sort of diary stuff, but then we've got the goals there where you can break down your 12-month goals. Then, you know, your 5-year goals, your vision, your mission, your affirmations for each area of your life. But then, you know, when we go through and, you know, so you can do your monthly goals, break those down, and, you know, set up your default week, and, you know, have it all out. So it's all there, all in one place, ready to go. Now, the other thing that we have with this is everyone that grabs one of these also gets access into our members area of the website. And in the members area of the website, what we do is we go through every aspect of that diary. That goal setting workshop that we took you through today, or the goal setting process, we actually do a workshop where we physically work with you to go through and set the goals. We go through and we do everything: your vision statement, your mission statement, the vision board, affirmations, setting up the default week and how that works, using a brain dump section in here and the project section in here, you know, using the needs tracking that I spoke about with the significance, the connection, the certainty, the variety, the growth and connection. So we take you through all of that, and that's on demand. You can go in and look at that whenever you want, as often as you want, and set you up. So that is a physical hard copy book. The 2021 book is on pre-sale till the end of this month. So basically, so there's about 30 hours left where you get at pre-sale. There's a few deals and stuff where you get, like, you know, cups and shakers and all that sort of stuff if you want to go through and do that, lifestyle type related things. But that's you know, that's the vision and the mission of the Lifestyle Co, is to help people with this stuff, not to you know, sell all the courses and have the little entry thing and then you go, you know, we may open something up. We've been talking about doing it for 2021, but we're still going to work on how that looks, and that accountability, and working closer with people who want to move a lot faster. But at the end of the day, everything that we share with you in the Lifestyle Planner, everything we share with you on the website, and you can go and live the life of your dreams. That's the stuff. You know, I see all these courses out there where people you know, they go through and they buy the $500 course and they get some really good stuff, and then they go home and they have no idea how to implement it into their world. So this is implementing it. And then so they think, oh, you know, I felt really good there. That was really good. And they go and buy their 4,999 course, and they learn all really good stuff there again. But then when they leave, they don't know how to implement. And so they keep upselling into these courses, doing all of this awesome personal development. But if they just implemented what they got at their free course or the $500 course or whatever it is, that their life would never be the same again. And so that's been part of the frustration for me. And part of me goes, all these people that are, you know, I get it, you know, you help enough people get what they want, you get everything you want and so forth. But it just annoys me that a lot of these people make a staggering amount of money off of other people chasing their hopes and dreams. And I've sat in the seats, I've spent, you know, multiple six figures on it myself, and it doesn't have to be that expensive. And if what you're doing is so good, why aren't you implementing it in your own life elsewhere, kicking your own goals, and then giving it away for as close as you can to cost? So that's our plan with the Lifestyle Company, to bring all of that amazing stuff to you guys and create a family and a culture where, you know, we're just going to pour into you as much as we can. When you get the Lifestyle Planner, we bring you into a smaller Facebook group, which we've only just started now. We're setting that up for 2021, and that's where we're going to be able to talk regularly and do the Q&As and so forth. So if there's no more questions, I haven't seen any more questions come through. Thank you so much for giving up some of your Sunday or your Saturday evening if you're, you know, over in the US and Canada. And I really hope you've gotten some value out of this. I hope my 28 thumbs in my digital skill set didn't stuff up. Maybe I've got to set a few more goals around getting better from a digital point of view and running things like this a little smoother. So yeah, thanks for showing up. The recording will be up into the group, and you'll be able to get access to that for you know, for a long time. I'll leave it up there live. And if you think of questions along the way, if you're getting the recording of this and you've got questions, chuck them in here, because I'll keep coming in and looking at it, and I'll answer some of the questions that people are chucking in from the recording and so forth, and help you along the way. If you're looking at getting one of those 2021 lifestyle planners, as I said, the pre-sale for the pre-sale pricing, the sale pricing finishes at the end of November. So you want to get in beforehand and grab that. It's in AUD dollars, Australian dollars, on the website. And shipping times are taking a little bit longer than usual because of COVID. But yeah, the website, I'll chuck that in this group. I do a post in this group with the website and a link to the website, so that you can go through and browse those and check them out. So if you're on this and you've already got your 2021, I know they started shipping out late this month. So some of you guys would already have them. You know, chuck a photo in the group with your in the comments or something with your lifestyle. Let us know what you think about it. We've worked really hard on them, and yeah, that and the content and the website, I know can and absolutely will change your life in every area. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys along the way. Have a great weekend.